There was a woman who did not rise by chance. She appeared as if she had always been there. Seated above everything. Untouched, unquestioned. She didn't need to speak loudly. People listened anyway. She didn't move often. Yet everything seemed to move around her. From a distance, she looked perfect. Unshaken. Untouchable. But power like this doesn't appear out of nothing. Because before the crown, before the throne, there was something else. Something unseen. Something watching. And if she wasn't alone, then who or what was truly behind her power? At first it was only a few. People searching. Wandering. Hoping for something more. They came from different places. Different lives. Different stories. Yet somehow, they all moved in the same direction. Toward her. Toward the light that surrounded her. And the closer they came, the more they felt it. That pull. That quiet promise that something greater awaited them. They didn't understand it. But they followed it. Because people are drawn to light, even when they don't understand what creates it. And soon a few became many. And many became a crowd. But what happens when a crowd stops thinking and starts believing? It didn't happen suddenly. There was no command. No instruction. Just a shift. Heads lifted. Eyes fixed upward. Hands slowly raised. Not out of fear. But something deeper. Belief. She became more than a ruler. More than a leader. She became a symbol. Of power. Of hope. Of something people thought they needed. And once belief takes hold, it changes everything. Because people no longer see what is real. They see what they want to believe. And she gave them exactly that. But belief can blind. And when people stop looking closely, they stop seeing what stands right in front of them. Or worse, what stands behind. Because if they had looked closer, they might have asked a different question. What was really holding her up? It was always there. Not hidden. Just ignored. A force. Massive. Silent. Powerful beyond understanding. Everything she was, stood on it. Her reach. Her influence. Her control. None of it existed on its own. It came from something else. Something beneath her. Something carrying her. And she knew it. Even if no one else did. She rose higher because it lifted her. Stronger because it supported her. Untouchable because it stood behind her. But power borrowed is never truly owned. And anything that lifts you can also let you fall. So the question was never how powerful she was. The question was, what happens when what supports her stops? At first, nothing seemed different. The crowd was still there. The light still shone. The illusion still held. But something shifted. Quietly. Almost invisibly. A glance that lingered. A hesitation. A question left unanswered. The same people who once looked up began to look around. And when they did, they noticed something. The feeling had changed. The certainty was fading. Because doubt does not arrive loudly. It arrives quietly. And once it enters, belief begins to weaken. Slowly. Silently. Like cracks spreading beneath the surface. And once cracks appear, they don't disappear. They grow. So if belief was breaking, what would happen to the crowd that once held her power? There was no announcement. No rebellion. No chaos. Just movement. One person leaving. Then another. Then more. The crowd began to thin. The same hands once raised, now lowered. The same eyes once fixed upward, now turned away. And space began to form around her. Wider. Colder. Empty. And for the first time, she stood alone. Exposed. But not yet fallen. Because something still remained. Something powerful. Something that had not left. Something that had never been loyal to the crowd. And if the people were no longer holding her up, what would the thing beneath her do next? It didn't hesitate. It didn't warn her. It didn't wait. The same force that carried her shifted. Suddenly. Violently. What once supported her turned against her. In an instant, everything changed. The illusion shattered. The control disappeared. The power collapsed. Because what she relied on was never hers. And power without loyalty has no reason to stay. It does not remember. It does not care. It does not protect. It only moves. And when it moved against her, there was nothing left to hold on to. But if everything she built depended on that power, what would happen now that it was gone? For the first time, she was not above. She was falling. Stripped of position. Stripped of protection. Stripped of everything that once defined her. The crown meant nothing. The throne no longer existed. The crowd was gone. And all that remained was truth. Unfiltered. Unforgiving. Because without the illusion, there is nothing left to hide behind. And truth does not hold you up. It reveals you. So if nothing remained to protect her, what would be left when everything finally collapsed? What was once admired became abandoned. What was once powerful became fragile. The structures fell. The symbols burned. The world built around her disappeared. Piece by piece. Until nothing remained of what once seemed permanent. Because anything built on illusion cannot survive reality. And when reality arrives, it does not ask permission. It takes everything. And when everything is gone, what remains? Silence. No crowd. No movement. No power. Just emptiness. The place that once held influence now held nothing. And in that silence something became clear. It was never just about her. It was about the people. The ones who followed. The ones who believed. The ones who gave power without understanding what they were giving it to. Because power does not exist on its own. It is given. Sustained. Protected. By belief. And when belief fades, power fades with it. So the real question was never why she fell. The real question is, what are people choosing to follow today?